Hi. So, yeah, um, Ted Wall, about the build team, and well, it's 7:30 and there's nobody here. So what I figure I'm gonna do is I'll record what I wanted to tell you all and put it up on the Facebook page because we got to keep moving forward. I really, really, really need you guys to be here next Monday. That would be February. What's today? Is the 9th? I don't know. A week from today. I need you to be here in the Boundary Common Room at 7 p.m. because we got to get into foam and we've got 3 weeks until the actual workshop, and I need demo pieces, guys. I can't do this by myself. That's why I enlisted your help in the first place. So I'm going to go ahead and record this and, send it out over the Facebook, but I really need you guys to be here next week because nobody's here. So, all right. All right. So tonight we're going to be talking about paper mache stuff and also Sculpey clay and modeling clay, and cardboard and rigid wrap and a couple of other stuff. So let's start off with the paper mache though. You can make paper mache in a couple of different ways. I made 2 batches here. This one, you can tell from the consistency, it's kind of oogy, but it's a lot more wiry than this, which is, really lumpy. The way you make paper mache glue, you can do it in 3 ways. The first is you combine like regular Elmer's glue, regular school glue with about a cup of water. It comes out really, loose like this, but you can apply it and it works great because when it dries, the glue just sort of hardens and, well, you know what Elmer's glue is like. This stuff, the other paper mache mix, the one that I use the most frequently, because it's also, the cheapest, is 1 cup of water, 1 cup of flour, and a pinch of salt. The salt is important because if you don't put that in there, you're going to get mold, and nobody likes moldy paper mache. It's no bueno. So you can use either one of these. I would recommend using this one. Like I said, it's cheaper, and you don't need as much Elmer's glue, because with this one, it's a cup of water, but it's also half a cup of Elmer's glue, which is pretty much one of those small bottles. So bear that in mind. The third one is one that I don't have here, but it's essentially the same as this one. All you do is you combine wallpaper paste and water instead of Elmer's glue, and that's some serious shit. But the only thing is that when you do the wallpaper paste one, you have to buy the wallpaper paste in a 5-gallon bucket. It doesn't come in anything smaller than that. So unless you're planning on making a lot of paper mache, I don't really recommend that one. Now, I promised I was going to tell you guys a bit about paper clay, so I'll tell you a bit about that now. I have a video up on the Facebook page, which you should definitely check out, but essentially all it is it's toilet paper that you soak for a long time in water, and then you take that toilet paper and you just sort of squeeze all the water out of it, and then you mix it with a cup of joint sealant, which is like for drywall, and a cup of Elmer's glue, and I think there's one other thing in there. I don't remember what it is though. So watch the video. Watch it. I'll put a link to it on this page, but it's already on the Facebook page. But paper clay is awesome stuff because it air dries and it dries hard as a rock, and you can build all kinds of neat stuff out of it. Okay? Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is rigid wrap, which is this stuff here. Now, you probably can't tell because it's my phone, and I don't know what kind of quality this has. It claims to be HD, but yeah. But for anyone who's ever broken a bone, you know rigid wrap. What it is it is linen that's covered in this plaster powder. And this stuff is fantastic. Like, it's really, you know, like pretty durable. It's, you know, very hard because of the plaster. And you can make all kinds of awesome stuff out of this. And if you layer it like I've done here, like it can get really, really tough. It can withstand a lot. The only thing that becomes a problem with this stuff is if you get it wet, like really wet, it's going to become soggy and then it won't work anymore. So you need to be aware of that, but this is fantastic stuff for building. You can buy rigid wrap at most of the craft stores like the Joann Fabrics, the Michaels, probably at AC Moore and Hobby Lobby. It comes in a big roll. Usually, I think it's like something like $8 for like 30 feet. So you get a lot, and I mean it's pretty wide. This is, I think, like 2 inches wide, something like that. So it's a good deal. You'll definitely like this stuff. I mean, you can use it for all kinds of things. What I do recommend that you do, though, is that when you're going over this, see how it has like these little pores here where the plaster doesn't really sink in? What you would want to do with that is you want to get yourself like a wet sponge, and you can smooth it out. And you can smooth it like this. So it's more like that kind of texture. And that's, you know, important because otherwise you have like this kind of texture that it doesn't really look too good. But obviously, I mean, if you're going to be putting stuff over this, that does not matter. Okay, so paper mache. You guys already, I hope, know how to do paper mache. You know, you probably have been doing it since like kindergarten. But you know, on the very slim chance that you haven't, the way that you do it is you take these pieces of paper and you scooge it around in the solution there, and then you would apply it onto whatever it is you're going to paper mache. Now, I'm not going to actually do it because I didn't bring a plastic wrap to put over this, but you can put it over the top of whatever you want. Now, what I wanted to talk to you guys about is the difference between when you do paper mache with newsprint, or, well, I mean, you'd probably be using newspaper, and paper towel. Now, I have actually only just found out about this, but I'm so glad that I did. What you want to do is you want to get the big thick paper towels. I have Bounty. And the big thick paper towels will absorb all of the liquid from the paper mache, and they'll be able to lay down flat without creasing like you get with newsprint. The difference, though, is that newsprint is, I think, a bit stronger, and the Bounty stuff is way more flexible. So what you might want to do, since you can layer this, is put down layers of the newsprint first, and then switch over to the Bounty after that as like a top layer. So that's pretty much paper mache. I have several videos up online as to how to do this, and I would certainly hope you would know how to by now, you know, since we're in art school. But I just wanted to go over that really quick. Okay. Next thing I wanted to talk about is Sculpey clay, which is this stuff here. Sculpey is a polymer-based clay. That means it's oil-based. And what you primarily use this stuff for is that it is, you know, very durable, very cheap. You can buy this like just about anywhere, really. You can get this at Walmart, you can get it at Michael's, you can get it at Joann's. If you're going to buy it, I would recommend buying the Super Sculpey instead of the regular Sculpey. The regular Sculpey, as you can see, it's a little flaky. It doesn't really, it's like the newsprint of the clay world, honestly. It kind of sticks to your fingers, it gets pretty tacky when you warm it up. But this block has been, you know, sitting around in my tool chest for about a year. And as you can see, I've just made it, you know, totally pliable by working it for like about, what, 2 seconds? So that's one of the wonderful things about this. Like, there's really no shelf life. If you work it like this stuff and keep it in a dry and cool place, this stuff will last like pretty well forever. One thing I will tell you though, I say a dry, cool place, and that's important with Sculpey clay because in order for this to cure, you have to bake it. Now, they tell you that you're supposed to bake it at 275 degrees per 1/4 inch of thickness on whatever it is that you're building. But I don't find that's true personally. So what I usually do with this stuff is I will heat my oven up to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, and then I'll turn it off. Since it's a electric oven, most of the dorms here have electric ovens. And if you don't have an electric oven, this works well with gas too. Since it's an electric oven, it retains the heat long enough for you to bake the stuff that you need to. And it's not toxic or anything. Like, you can totally use it in your regular oven, the oven you use to cook with. If you want to invest in getting a small toaster oven, that's perfectly fine too. You just got to make sure that you can get it up to 300 degrees or 275 if you want to follow the instructions on the bag. One thing I need to tell you about this stuff, and this is important, under no circumstance should you attempt to use a microwave with this. It will explode like C4, and it will blow the door right off the microwave. And if you're wondering how I know that, it's because I actually tried it once. Don't do it. It's a bad idea. You're going to have a bad time if you do that. Now, here's an example of some of the stuff you can do with Sculpey clay. I made this little mannequin, you know, over the summer, and I can pose it and whatever. This stuff is really great because you can, you know, once you've baked it, you can kind of hear, you know, and it's pretty hard. It's basically a rock right now. But the wonderful thing about it is that it doesn't break easily. So, I mean, you can drop this, you can, you know, put it in your car or keep it somewhere that it's probably it shouldn't be, and it's fine. Hey. Yeah. All right. So the other clay that I wanted to show you guys is this stuff. It is really, really cheap, really just awful, but it does have its purposes. This is the Crayola Model Magic. It's basic modeling clay. It's an air dry modeling clay. Texture wise, it's kind of like a foam rubber. It sets up relatively hard, though still a little squishy, you can see. But the problem with it is that once you open this package, you pretty well have to use all of it because it sets up and there's no way to get it to loosen up again. I have heard that you can use like linseed oil or like vegetable oil or something like that to try and loosen this up, but yeah, it doesn't work. So that's the Model Magic stuff, and what you would primarily be using that stuff for is if you wanted to make like horns. This is really good for making horns, or if you wanted to add like some details to the outside of your armor. Just to like give it a raised surface, this would be great because it's very lightweight stuff. It's just yeah, it kind of sucks as clays go. But I just wanted to show you that because like that's definitely something to think about if you want to make like horns or fangs or stuff that needs to be relatively hard but doesn't want to weigh a lot. So there you go.